Hello everyone, it's me again, LJ from Hobby Games, and it's time once again for another development video for our game Super Tiny Monkey. So what's new with this update? I'd like to talk about the comic strips that we added for storytelling, the game assistant that we added for new players, and the Spittoon superpower, and of course the new sets of quests for the Razor Wings map. So here we have the final layout of our map selection with a preview of the next act, and yes, it's going to be a beach map. So you will notice here this bouncing red round button here. This is the comic strip button. This is our means of telling the story for the map and in general for the whole game. So this acts as a prologue for the forest edge map. Let's watch the prologue. So the story of the game stars you, the super tiny monkey, and you are an experimental animal. You escape from the laboratory of Dr. Zoo, that guy with the long white hair and the big white mustache. In fact, you are a species of primate called a tarsier. So for those who are not familiar with the tarsier, just look it up. It's a very small kind of primate. That's why we named it the super tiny monkey. So anyway, after escaping the laboratory, Dr. Zoo hired the poacher Rico, the other guy with the mustache and beard. So for the forest edge map, your main goal will be just to escape Poacher Rico, get as far away as possible because he's going to be chasing you down, hunting you through the entire map. Okay, so what else can you see in the map selection? The next map, Razor Wings, is locked, and as I've already discussed before in our previous video, each map will require certain level to be unlocked. So for the case of Razor Wings, in our previous video, I mentioned that it requires level 15 to unlock. Now we've been gathering feedback from other people, and they feel like reaching level 15 might make the game feel a little bit grindy, and so we decided to reduce the level requirement. Anyway, by level 10, you would have learned all the basic abilities, and all that would be left for you to do is to upgrade those abilities. So we feel that reducing the level requirement to level 11 will not break anything. So yeah, Razor Wings map now requires level 11 for you to play. And I think it's important to mention that in the future, maps can be unlocked by purchasing them. So for this Act 1, we do not allow this. We want the player to first reach level 10 to learn all the abilities required by the game, and then only after that you will unlock Razor Wings map. So you cannot take a shortcut and buy Razor Wings map. But in the future, all the other boss maps can be unlocked by purchasing it. And a new feature that we added into the game is the game assistant. So the game assistant is actually a tutorial for the player, but instead of making a separate map for tutorials, I've decided to just integrate the tutorial with the gameplay. So as you play along and as you learn new skills and new abilities, the game assistant will pop up and remind you or teach you how to use those new abilities. So here's an example of a game assistant. At level 1, it will pop up, and aside from teaching you how to play the game, it will also give commentaries to the game's story because it's a character in the game. So this is your friend, the colorful butterfly named Paru, and aside from teaching you how to play the game, aside from serving as the game assistant, he's also, your friend. He will guide you and help you. So we decided to add the game assistant because during our public beta, we discovered that a lot of people find the game very challenging. While it is our intention to make a challenging game, we do not want to discourage newcomers. We want the game to appear accepting, or we wanted to welcome new players, casual and hardcore players alike. We don't want to have an exclusive audience for this game, so that's why we decided to add game assistant to guide the players as they play the game. Oh, here's the assistant giving us free revive. So for every map or for every game, you will get 2 free revives. The assistant will help you whenever you fall off or get caught for 2 times, and then after that you will be on your own. So when you repeat a map, the assistant will ask you if you still want his help or not. So this is to prevent the assistant system to become annoying to the players who really don't need it anymore. If they got it from the first run and they don't want any help from Paru, that's fine. You can just tap the screen to ignore the assistant. Otherwise, you can tap the picture of the butterfly or the assistant there if you still want his help. And we reach level 2. So on level 2, we have learned a new ability. This is the glide ability. For those who have already played the game, we switched up the progression of the game. So now on level 2, you will learn the glide. So before you learned the dash at level 2, but we changed it up to glide. And now the assistant is back again because you reached a new level, you've learned a new skill. So it's important that your friend Paru teach you about this new skill that you have learned. Okay, it's your tail to glide. So you just tap on the air to glide, but when you're on tree, you tap the screen if you want to jump. And you can only glide for a limited time. It's not even if you hold the screen, you will not glide infinitely, so you will still fall down after a few seconds. But you can upgrade this ability. Okay, now a new skill that we added to the game, a superpower called the Spittoon. So this Spittoon ability is a projectile fired from a distance. So with this new skill, it gives the game that shooter appeal. So a side-scrolling shooter, kind of like Gradius, one of my favorite games. But there's still some difference with Gradius because in this game you cannot spam the Spittoon ability. Even though it's very cheap, only 10 golden bucks, you cannot spam the ability because the physics of the game will be an obstacle for you. Remember that you're falling, so if you keep on spamming just the skill, your character will not jump on its own, it will not glide or do anything else. So you just use them only when really necessary. Okay, the assistant teaching me how to use the Spittoon ability. 10 golden bucks is required for the Spittoon ability. Press the Spittoon button. You'll see that it will fire a bullet, something like that. It's really fast, so it gets to the enemy real fast. Yes, it's not as powerful as the power dash, but it is cheaper, and it helps you in some situations where you don't want to collide with your opponent. But like I said before, in some situations it's still preferable to use power dash as an offensive ability. So let's just have a few runs using the Spittoon ability. You can see that as I use the ability, my character still falls because of the game's physics. So this is not exactly like a side-scrolling shooter or a space shooter. Okay, so I boosted our level to the minimum requirement for a boss map. So level 11, like I said before, and we have a new comic strip available. This is the prologue to the boss map, the Razor Wings map. So let's view the comic. What have we learned from the comic? Well, for starters, Razor Wings is actually one of Dr. Zeus' creations, just like you. But instead of being a really tiny monkey, he is an eagle, actually quite large for an eagle. And he's put a bounty on your head. Razor Wings apparently accepted that bounty by firing a feather blade at your wanted poster. So in this map, Razor Wings will be your main opponent, and yeah, you will have to fight for your life against the boss, Razor Wings. So you've probably seen this before, but what I want to show you, aside from the boss battle, is the Spittoon ability being used against the boss and the new sets of quests for this map. So this wasn't available before, but now we have a separate set of quests for the boss map. Okay, this is separate from the quest for Forest Edge. So we have a quest there. Hit the boss with Spittoon. Yeah, it's one of the quests. Okay, so let's try and fight the boss. Now, you might notice that this game might go quicker. We adjusted the boss for this video. We reduced the armor of the boss, so you can see there that the Spittoon did quite a damage, and also the power dash almost killed the boss. So in reality, it won't be like that. This will be more difficult than this, more challenging. There's also no game assistant for this map because we assume that by the time the player has reached this map, they will have already been familiar with the game's controls, the game's abilities. So we feel that there's no need for an assistant at this level. Although I think we can add just for some comic relief. Pago will give commentaries as you enter the map, give you a warning about the incoming boss. Maybe we can add that later. So there you have it, all the new features that we added into the game, and hopefully this will all be ready by the end of this month, January, our target release date. Right now we're just doing some polishing here and there, but all the features that we planned at release are already in place. So yeah, it won't be long now. And if you still have some last minute feedback, just don't hesitate to contact us. We're always willing to listen, and anyway we can just patch up the game if there are things that you think needs to be adjusted. So don't forget to like the video, follow us, subscribe. You can follow us through YouTube, Google. We're also on Facebook, and we're also on Tumblr. And you can also follow our blog and our website. So yeah, once again, this is me, LJ from Hobby Games, and thank you for watching the video, and we hope that you will download and play the game when it's available. So the game Super Tiny Monkey will be coming out for Android and iOS devices this January. So thank you.